What is up, guys? It's Neroku here, back with the video, and today I'm going to be going over some of the top ways that people die in Ark. So not just the top ways, but the most annoying ways that people die in Ark. So these happen to me a ton. So I compiled a list. I think I have about 9 or 10 of them. So I'm going to be going over those today. Alright, so for number 1, we have dying slowly in a cage. Alright, so you get locked up, right? You're doing something, you're on a raid, or you're just a noob, and you get locked up for some reason. And then you get dragged in the cage, you get fed narcotics, you get whatever happens to you, and then you're pretty much in the cage, you wake up, right? And then you're trying to get out, you don't know how to get out of that cage. You start jumping to get stamina, to lose your stamina rather, and if someone has you handcuffed and weighted down, then you can't even do that, so it's horrible. So usually this happened to me a lot, I just got thrown in a cage early on. So when I was thrown in that cage, what I would do is I would lose a ton of stamina by jumping up and down, and then that would cause me to poop, right? Once I pooped, I'd eat the poop. So I would slowly be dying by eating poops in that cage, and that was probably one of my biggest memories of dying in Ark at the beginning. Alright, so moving on here to number 2 is getting killed by an alpha out of nowhere. So you're just chilling, right? You're taming, you're doing whatever you're doing. And then usually this happens to me when I'm taming and I forget to put spikes up. So always put spikes up around your tames because this happens to me so much. So I'll be taming whatever. I'll be taming a Pterodon, for example, and then out of nowhere a alpha will come up behind me and it'll start hitting me, right? And then I'm trying to do whatever I can to try to kill this thing before it also kills my Pterodon or whatever I'm taming. But then it ends up killing whatever I'm taming and me, since I don't have the stuff and I'm not prepared for it to come out of nowhere. Alright, moving on to number 3. We have dying while trying to tame something. So this really sucks. You're trying to tame something, you're trying to tame a Bronto. Let's say you're trying to tame a Bronto, and you're shooting it with arrows or you're shooting it with tranq darts, right? And then it keeps hitting you, and you're not really paying attention to your health, you're just trying to knock it out. And you know it's so close to getting knocked out, so you're just gonna tank those few hits that it's hitting you, that it's like doing to your health, and you're just trying to tank it and take out that Bronto, right? But then it keeps hitting you and you're not really paying attention. So then it hits you one time. This always happens to me. The Bronto or the Rex or whatever I'm trying to tame, it would hit me and then I'd like fall back from the, I get like hit back and then I'd die of fall damage. It always happened and it really sucked because then I'd have to restart the tame because the narcotics or the unconscious level would go back down. Moving on to number 4 here, we have dying from falling off of a cliff. So this always happened to me at the start, and it still happens to me now. It could be from something pushing me off, or I'm just being careless and I accidentally jump off. But usually this would happen when I'm grinding out metal. So I'd always be grinding out metal, right? I'd have a Quetzal next to me, and this is before like I had an Ankylo or whatever. I'd be grinding out metal, and then I would try to like run up to the metal, right? And I'd jump to get extra speed, I guess. I don't know, I did it all the time. But then I would fly off the side of the mountain and it always sucked, and then I fell down and then I'd have to bring another bird up there to get the Quetzal, and it always sucked. I just remember dying from falling off of a cliff. Moving on to number 5 or 6 or something, I don't even know what number we're on, but dying from running out of stamina. So this also happened to me a lot, and I guarantee it happened to you guys at one point in your Ark career. So you're flying around on a Pterodon or an RG, or usually not a Quetzal, it's usually a Pterodon because you have the spin move and you're not paying attention to your stamina. But one time you're going to be spin moving, right? Or you're just flying and you're really high up, and then you run out of stamina. And you know when your bird, usually a Pterodon, it just slowly just starts floating down towards the ground, and then eventually it stops. Well, that always happened to me, and usually what would happen, I would have the worst luck. I'd slowly go down to the ground, and there would be a ton of Alios or a Giga or a Rex or something that's down there to kill me as soon as I land. Because once I land, you're out of stamina, and once you're out of stamina, you can't do anything, and the carnivore is going to kill you if your team doesn't have enough health. So I know this always happened to me, it always sucked, and then I usually end up dying as well. Moving on to number 18, we have slowly dying from scorpions. So scorpions, right? They are just like Troodons. I used Troodons before in another video, so I'm going to be using scorpions. This always happened before Troodons came out, actually, but it still happens sometimes to me. So I'll be grinding, I'll be getting metal, I'll be doing whatever I'm doing, and then a scorpion will come up, or I'll just be walking, right? I'll be walking, and then a scorpion will catch me off guard. And if I'm not wearing really good armor and it gets a few hits on you, you know that you're gonna knock out. You know that feeling when you get hit a few times, you know you're gonna knock out. So you're just trying to get to some spot where you won't die, or you're trying to kill the scorpion before it knocks you out. That always happened. I would get hit a few times, and then I just try to kill the scorpion before I knock out, so that it doesn't kill me, slowly kill me once it knocks me out. And then if I wasn't able to actually kill the scorpion, it'd always just sit there and keep hitting me with its venom, and I'd slowly die just like Troodons. Moving on to number 7, we have dying from the jellyfish looking things. So I have no idea how to pronounce that name. It's like Sidnedia or something like that, I don't even know. But I remember I would always cross rivers, and I'd be on foot. I don't remember why, but usually early game I'd try to cross a river or an ocean, try to get somewhere, and then these jellyfish looking things would come out of nowhere, and then they just start zapping me. And once they zap you, it's really weird, and it's kind of overpowered. They kind of stun you, so you can't pull out a pike, you can't do anything, and you can't defend, you can't move, so you're pretty much just sitting there, just a freaking hot dog. You can't move, you're just dying, you're getting eaten. And I remember that always sucked when I was playing Ark. Alright, moving on to number 8 here, we have dying from bugs early on. So you all know the bugs. You have the little spider looking things on the ground. They come in like a little pack, I guess. And then you have the Meganeras. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it, Meganeras. The little flying dragonfly things. So I remember I would always be trying to grind for levels early on, or usually early on, because once you're higher in the game, they're not really that big of a pest. But I'd have spears, and I'd be trying to kill these things, and then they just keep coming, and especially when I'm in the swamp, they just keep coming. And once your spear breaks, you're screwed. You know you're screwed, because they do so much damage in a pack. And all of them, you lose stamina from all of them hitting you. They have like this stamina debuff thing, I don't even know. But Meganeras, I always died from them early on. Moving on to number 9 here, we have dying as soon as you spawn in from carnivores. So this always happens with raptors, carnos, sometimes rexes, but the most it would be dilphosaurs. You'd spawn in and immediately you get that green thing on your screen, or a raptor just coming up and just chewing on you, and it's absolutely horrible. I absolutely hate it, and it's kind of like bad luck. Yeah, it happens to me a lot in Ark. Number 9 or 10 or something majiggy, we have dying while you're AFK. So we all have to go take a break from Ark at some time, right? And usually if you're in an official server, you don't want to leave the whole server and then come back in. It's just too much of a pest. So you go AFK, right? You just lie down in your base in a corner and you go AFK. But usually this happened to me so many times. I would just sit there, and then I'd lose food or water, and I would be gone, and I'd forget about my Ark, right? I'd just go on with my day, and I'd come back a few hours later, or not even, like a half an hour later, and then over time I'd slowly die, and then once I come back, I'd spawn in, I was dead, I'm already dead, and all my stuff has despawned since I was AFK. And I remember that always sucked, especially if I had like Ascendant or something on. Last one here, we have blowing yourself up. So this is kind of like a little thing that always happens when you're raiding or you're killing something, usually raiding, but you shoot a rocket and then it hits like a structure in front of you, and then you blow up and you die, and it absolutely sucks because all your armor is broken. And yeah, it happened to me a lot when I was raiding. So that is gonna be it for this video today, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my music down below. I have a new song coming out soon, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace. Ark Survival. We play Ark Survival. Ark Survival. We play Ark Survival. Get the tames. Living for the race. Whole lot of pain. Way too many games. I don't know why all the raiders try to bring me down. I don't know how all the alphas run me out of town. I put so much time in and try to make ourselves a name, but then these alphas come over and